Sorry, I was just telling the players to go because I've already joined a game, guys, as you can see on the screen. So yes, we can talk a little bit more about players and whatnot in a second, but for now we are going straight into a round of 32 match here with Draco versus Castle. We're starting off with the celebrities and spawning here at the left position as the red Protoss. It will be Pro Draco. Whew.
And spawning here at the right side of our map crossing field, the brown Protoss, it is Castle EMG.
Alright, and let me see, how can I turn up your volume? I think I probably need to do that
on myself. Maybe that would be better.
Alright, I don't know, maybe the chat can tell us if it's fine or not. It sounds a little bit quiet to me, but maybe it's fine. And of course, I will need to update my overlay. But yeah, interesting match to start off the day. PvP, but should be cool nonetheless.
Yeah, when we talk about PvP on crossing field, or rather a map where you can take a really quick natural at the back of your base, it gives credence to go for the quicker Reaver play, because with the ramp that goes up into your main base, you just defend it with like maybe just one gate and a quicker Reaver, so you don't die to like any of the 2 or 3 gate goon shenanigans that you see every now and then. So you'll be curious to see how these two play it out.
Yeah, it will be indeed, and I'm actually really excited because we saw Draco play some awesome PvPs on this map in Italy. He actually played 2 games where he went Arbiters both games on this map. So, you know, if this does go to a long game, which it probably will, being on crossing field, then we could see some crazy shenanigans. I like Draco's scouting pattern, by the way, going to the bottom, just checking for proxy gates here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on a 2-player map where you know where your opponent is. It doesn't hurt to check for proxy gates. Although, with Draco's scouting pattern, he didn't really scout those, the 2 middle bases. That's a very common spot for proxy gates. But luckily for him, Castle isn't really doing any proxy shenanigans this game.
Yes, indeed. So both players just going to get the scout in. It looks like Draco has taken his gas earlier, so Castle went for the Zealot first here and then getting the second pylon, whereas Draco, as you can see, going for the much faster tech route, skipping that initial Zealot, going straight for the gas, straight for the core. It makes you a little bit more vulnerable to like a 2-gate opening, but that also explains why he made sure to check at the proxy location, and I think it should be just fine here. There's no like super brutal proxy locations, sorry, not proxy, mana pylon is what I was trying to say, mana pylon locations. But actually, the reason is that Castle has already gone for a Nexus. Huh.
Yeah, and I don't think that Draco's probe has actually scouted that back natural. I'm pretty sure Draco has scouted the gas coming, and okay, there we go, there's a probe that confirms that back Nexus, and going for this really early Nexus while off just 1 gate is really risky. Actually, we see really quick forge here from Castle, so if he gets a cannon up on the ramp, that's going to be a very good boon for Castle if Draco doesn't do anything about it. But it looks like he's just going to go for an expansion of his own. We see the probe at the back of, or he was going to go to the back of his base, but looks like he's actually going to opt to go for the front expansion, which I think is the better idea here.
Yep, definitely makes sense. Man, this is such a curious opening though. Gateway Nexus into Forge. See, the thing for me is like technically, yes, if you build the cannons on the high ground, you won't die to just goons or zealots or gateway units. But his goons are going to be so late. Like if Draco had rushed straight for a Reaver, he could be in serious danger to that. I mean, it's, you know, on this map there's a pretty wide area where you can elevate units across even. In addition to the Reaver, there's a lot of space to cover. You know, you got to cover the back Expo. But it looks like Draco didn't go for that. He just went for the expansion behind himself, which is kind of an interesting choice to me. I don't know, I feel like a lot of players here would just go for the Robo and go for the kill, but Draco actually just playing the macro game.
Yeah, and we've only seen 1 gateway here from Castle. I expected him to actually add a couple more gateways right about now, but with this only 1 gateway tech that he has running for him, it's going to be really hard for Castle to get units out. Draco's going to have the advantage on his side as well as the tech advantage.
Yep. And we'll see if he can make use of that. Actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of funny because Draco's the type of player, he's super confident in his late game and his macro abilities. You know, I think he literally said on his stream while he was analyzing his games from Italy against Pro, he was like, yeah, I knew that if we went to the late game, I would win because I'm fucking Draco. So, so that, you know, he probably doesn't actually even mind expanding behind too much. He might not even go for the risky Reaver play, you know, just in case he misses the micro or something like that. And I know Draco likes to go straight for Templar a lot. Actually, on those Italy games, I'm gonna bring those up a lot actually, because those are the games that I remember from him playing on this map. But in his Italy games, he did actually skip the Reavers entirely. He just got Obs and then went straight for the Templar tech. So wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. But now we have the probe finally getting taken down here in Castle's base.
Yep. And if we could go back to what Draco's doing at his main base. You're observing me, by the way.
Yep.
So I want to check out what Draco's doing if possible.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 gates, Robo, and I believe that's a robotics facility building at the top there. Yeah, okay, so once you get those Reavers out, getting those Reavers out quickly will allow him to control the bottom of the ramp. Of course, he can't move up the ramp because there are units and cannons there. But as long as he controls and constricts the movement of Castle, he knows that Castle doesn't have any robotics tech yet, because I'm pretty sure Season Pro, like Draco, would know, oh, my opponent is going to be behind on tech, so I know he's going to need units out, so he'll get the he'll be going for 3 gate raise rather than the quicker robotics facility. So, and it doesn't really seem that Draco would be going for anything like the template tech when there's the cannons up on the ramp. So,
Yep.
let's see how Draco reacts to the situation.
Is it just me, or is the 12 o'clock base different on this version of Crossing Field?
Yeah, this is the wrong version.
What the heck's
the 12 o'clock base should be on the higher ground with the weird choke. This is not supposed to be like this.
Is this... But I don't remember Crossing Field ever looking like this, though. What the heck is going on here?
I'm pretty sure this is like a beta version.
What the heck? I think Castle hosted this map. I wonder if he just has like a super old version. Draco hasn't actually said anything. Surely he must realize, because Draco's the only one who's actually checked this side base. Surely he must realize something's weird.
I guess it's too late in the game for it to remake right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's going to matter too much in the state of this game, because it is a mirror. If it was like a TvP or something, then I'd be a bit more annoyed about it. But well, it's not that big of a deal at the moment, in my current opinion, at least.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'll agree with that. I'll definitely message Castle. Oh, hold that thought. We got an attack coming out here. Draco is gonna have to pull back. He will.
The shuttle though, bottom right.
Oh, looks like pushed away by a cannon and a dragoon. Well spotted there, GTR. By the way, guys, just a quick technical note. If you didn't understand what GTR was saying earlier, GTR is actually not in this game, of course, because being from Australia, it's quite likely he would cause some lag issues. So we're actually screen sharing on Discord. So GTR is kind of limited to what I'm showing on the screen or on the mini-map. So any missed shuttles or anything are 100% my fault, as usual.
Alright, so it seems that there's a big enough army here from Castle that he's forced Draco back to his choke point. We've got a cannon as well as a forge building. Can we check whether Castle's getting upgrades from his forge of his own?
I will in a second, but the speed shuttle is coming into the natural once again. This time he is going to drop the Reaver. How many probes will he kill? Looks like a few probes. He actually drops a Dragoon as well to potentially try and tank some shots. Although the second Scarab actually doesn't release. So a bit of a micro error there. I'm not sure what happened. It looks like indeed +1 is spinning on Castle's own forge. And I thought for a second these Dragoons would try and catch the shuttle, but it looks like he might just be going for the attack here. Castle going for the front. Can he break through? It's going to be close.
I'm really surprised here that Draco doesn't have a Reaver rally to his expansion. It would really help at this point to have that Reaver defending. I'm not sure why it's not there. It should be built by now. And here comes the attack here from Castle. Reaver's being dropped there at the bottom right side, while the Draco's Reaver barely getting shot off. There's a shot as well. We'll see how many juicy shots he gets off on those Dragoons. Gets one there. And there's the second Reaver I was talking about.
Oh man, this is the power of the defensive arc here. Look at this. Castle getting absolutely destroyed. Shuttle gets picked off here. The Reaver will not be alive for much longer. There it goes, and Castle absolutely destroyed 2 Dragoons, even misrallied it seems to the top, dropping down to 30 supply below Draco there, going for the attack and getting absolutely punished for it. And now Draco goes for the counterattack. Castle has taken his front natural, but he's got very few units. He does have a second Reaver, so maybe he can pull off a miracle defense here, but it's looking pretty bad for him. Meanwhile, Draco's just expanding behind this, getting his own Templar tech going. He's in a very, very strong position right here.
Yeah, at least Draco should be able to take force a cancel on this expansion that Castle is building right now. That was a very nice fight there from Draco. I felt like that Castle's Reaver control could have been a bit better. They didn't really take the shots on the Dragoons as he wanted. Rather, they were hitting the Zealots and Dragoons that were actually astray from the bulk of the army. So the splash damage advantage of those Reavers didn't really work out for him.
Yep, very unfortunate for Castle. For anyone wondering who Castle is, by the way, I just saw Faust mention this in the chat, but Castle is not somebody who I would otherwise be familiar with, except for the fact that I casted several of his games in the Pan American Team League, where he actually performed very, very well and was a very good star player for EMG. But look at this, Draco actually losing his Reaver straight off, but Castle's Reaver dying as well here, not giving me a chance to talk about who this man is, but it is a best of 3 at least. So even if he falls here, we will go to at least one more game, and he is almost certainly going to fall. Gonna have to give up the expansion, and GG from Castle. Draco takes game number 1. Alright, Circuit Breakers will be the second map of the best of 3 here, and that will be Castle's choice. So let's see what he pulls out. Spawning in the bottom left as the Brown Protoss, though, it will be Pro Draco, who's up 1-0 in this series.
Yep, and spawning here at the top left is from America, I believe, Castle EMG.
From the Americas at least, playing.
So one of 3 countries, unless it's from like Guatemala or some shit.
So yeah, pretty good chance of getting that right. Looks like people are happy with the audio volume as well, which is good. I also did a little bit of fiddling on my end, so hopefully everything is fine. And okay, so back to Castle. Basically, I had no idea who this guy was before casting the PATL, but he actually came out and won a lot of games for EMG. He came out as the ace player a few times in the series that I casted, and he won one of those against like some really high level player. I can't remember, but he's definitely shown pretty solid games. And of course, PvP itself is a bit of a volatile matchup. You know, depending on you can get build order advantages. You can get some RNG on Reaver shots as well. So, you know, I would say Draco is a favorite here, but not necessarily a heavy favorite in this matchup.
I mean, would you happen to know whether Castle participated in any Zotac qualifiers for the Masters?
That's a good question. I would imagine he did, but I'm not actually sure. I don't remember him going deep in any of the brackets. So either he got knocked out early or he just didn't play for whatever reason.
Ooh, the scout there from Draco missing out on that pro scouting from Castle, but I guess he went straight to the center. Draco playing it very safe this series, trying to look for proxy gates. And that middle spot on Circuit Breaker, very common. Watching Draco stream a lot of Koreans love to use that spot for proxy gates in the middle.
Yep. Indeed, so Draco perhaps confident in his own abilities, just wants to make sure he doesn't get cheesed, and otherwise...
2-gate.
Ooh, 10-12 though, it's not some kind of super cheesy 2-gate. Just a very standard one. Not a huge fan of the second pylon next to the gateways. I mean, I guess unless he expected Draco to 2-gate as well, and then didn't want to have any kind of shenanigans going on in his base. But Draco has just gone for the fast core again, skipping the initial Zealot. That can actually potentially be dangerous here against a 2-gate. Normally, a 1-gate tech build is fine against 2-gate on a normal ramped map, which Circuit Breaker is, but going for the core first, well, we'll have to see how good the micro is. Oh wait, what is this? Is he making a goon prison? One of these
possibly.
Pylons is a red pylon. One of these belongs to Castle. I can't quite tell what it is, but you can see on the minimap. Or maybe they're both red.
The one that Draco is attacking is obviously, yeah, I'm pretty sure that one on the left. Okay, it is a goon prison, but I don't think that's going to trap anything unless it... Oh!
Oh
but
my
I
god.
think Draco could just build like another Zealot and it should be fine.
Oh man, that reaction, that was exactly my reaction. That whoa. Oh man, that's
Oh wow, the
perfect.
green actually got out.
What? It's oh, because he left a probe in there. Look, Draco actually left a probe inside the prison, and that forced the Dragoon to spawn on the right side here. Oh my god, all the buildings are around the gateways here. What the heck is going on? Shield batteries galore. 2 shield batteries from Castle. Draco making his own shield battery has to leave 1 probe here to make sure his Dragoons never spawn inside there. The Goon prison, of course, for those who are unaware, basically is abusing the spawn pattern of Broodor buildings, and he was hoping the Dragoon would spawn here and couldn't micro against his zealots.
Because the Goon popped out when the probe wasn't there, so Castle miscalculated this terribly.
Oh man, unfortunate. Meanwhile, one zealot actually bugging out in the probe line, gonna die here. The probe attacking the gateway for a little bit. Actually took 30 damage off of that gateway, but Draco, I think, is not out of the woods just yet. He's got 3 Dragoons, but these zealots are forcing so much lost mining time.
Like 3 Dragoons is like with Draco's micro and experience, he should be able to micro his way to kill these zealots without too much loss from his Dragoon count.
Oh, and indeed, it looks like you are correct. Doing a nice job stacking the probes as well. My concern with this was that he hasn't been mining for a really long time. Even if the probe drills stop the zealots from attacking, you know, it does deny you some mineral income, but I think he has completely stabilized now. And looking back at Castle Space, he really doesn't have any follow-up. He hasn't gotten a gas. He hasn't even gotten expansion behind this. Sometimes you'll see in this situation they'll get a Forge and immediately get the Nexus from Castle's position, but he was super committing to this attack. Didn't even use all of his shield battery energy, in fact, slightly surprisingly to me. I guess this one was a little bit far away from the main engagements, but he's actually, look at this, Draco actually built his robo in vision of the shield batteries. I'm not sure I like that. Surely he could build it on the right side so Castle wouldn't know what's going on, but instant GG.
Whew. Whew. That was a crazy game.
Indeed it was. Oh man. Well, Castle trying to cheese his way to victory in game number 2. 2 gates not normally necessarily cheese, but when you build 2 shield batteries in your opponent's base, that's where you go into the cheese territory, I would say.